Welcome everybody. In this episode we're going to learn how to create our own custom function. This is going to allow us to extract some section of code, invoke it by name, and we can do that multiple times. If we ever need to change that code, we only have to change it in one location versus throughout all of the code. So this is a really good way to improve the quality of your code, reduce typing, and yeah, you just do this when you're programming. So we're going to learn how to create functions. If you've enjoyed the series so far, then you will definitely enjoy C++ Builder. This is the IDE I've been using for this series. Check out the link to the free community edition down below. Definitely would appreciate it if you want to support this channel. Now let's get to creating functions. So let's say you had some structure for your code and you wanted to keep it pretty much the same, but you wanted to basically say, hey, once you choose a difficulty, just play the game. So let's go ahead and condense these cases. It's going to be the same regardless if it's easy, medium, or hard. What we will do is we will just say case 0, 1, or 2, which is easy, medium, or hard. And in here, we could just say play game, and then break. So we basically extract the entire game functionality and call it by this name. And you could do something similar if you wanted to have like an impossible mode that was very, very difficult and you had to have beaten the game at least one time. You can ask, hey, have you beat the game? And if yes, if beat game is true, we can do the same exact thing here. Play game. Without the ability to invoke a function like that, we would have to copy this behavior 2 times. So now we can define play game in a single location and then invoke that anywhere we want. A few other changes is first, we're not going to have to require them to enter some secret passcode, so we can just remove this line here. So it'll just assume in this situation they will want to play impossible mode. We'll say play game, and later we can possibly pass in like a difficulty or something like that. We'll talk about those options. The other thing is after this is done, it's going to just continue on with this code and ask them what difficulty they want, which doesn't make sense if they're already playing the game. So you have the option to say return 0 here, basically copying that final code down here. You will also need that system pause if you don't want it to just automatically close. The other option would be to just use an else here. So we can say else, and then we will surround everything else in curly braces. So it'll look like this. And then I'll just go in here and indent everything inside of these curly braces. So I think that is right. The only problem now is that this function we're calling play game, it doesn't yet exist. So we're going to define it. So oftentimes you will see it set up this way where you have a function prototype void play game. It'll look like this. Now I'm going to show you a different way I prefer, but for now you will just say what the name of the function is and its return type, in this case void, meaning we're not going to return any data back to the user. Or I guess instead of user, I should say the developer. So the person who is invoking this function, they're not going to get any data back. So after main, you can scroll down to the bottom, that's where we're going to put the function definition. So we'll say void play game, and this will actually have the implementation. So you're going to have the curly braces, and just to check that this works, we will say cout playing game ... new line end quote semicolon. So let's test this out. We will play. Do you want to play a game? Yes. Have you beat the game? Yes. Because you beat the game, you can play impossible mode, playing game. So you can see it actually did make it down here to this function call and outputted that. Let's go ahead and try it again, this time not on the impossible mode setting. So have you beat the game? No. We will go for medium, and it says playing game. So either one plays the game. We don't have any way to configure difficulty or anything yet, but this is a start. Now, I think having the prototype at the top and the definition at the bottom is kind of redundant when you're just doing everything in a single file like this. So what I'll tend to do is cut that and bring it all the way to the top where we have the prototype, and just replace the prototype with the definition itself. And in this situation, the definition acts as the prototype and the implementation. So this should work just the same. You can run the code. And it works. Yes, I want to play. No, I have not beat the game, and I want to play on easy. Cool. You can also see that we're kind of taking advantage of that fall through capability of the Switch, where we're basically doing the same exact thing for easy, medium, and hard. You could, of course, go in here and do different things for easy, medium, and hard. That's totally up to you. Now, I want to talk about arguments, which is going to be the focus of the next video, because right now we have no way to pass in some kind of difficulty. When you extract functionality into functions, you'll often need to pass in data known as arguments. So that's what we're going to be talking about, as well as return data in the following episode. If you've enjoyed this content so far, please be sure to give that subscribe button a little slap. And check out the next episode.